Step into the fascinating world of Canadian history as we uncover the rarest and most valuable treasures ever found. These extraordinary pieces tell stories of the past, hold incredible value, and are worth millions today. Discover how these hidden gems became true symbols of Canada's rich heritage and rarity. Top 4 in the world of Canadian coins, the 1 cent from 1966 holds a special charm that fascinates collectors and history lovers alike. Its story is not just about copper and design, but about a piece of Canadian heritage that has survived decades and still shines with value. The year 1966 was an important time for Canadian coinage as the country was preparing for major changes in currency design and composition. The 1 cent coin of this year carries the classic maple leaf twig design that became an icon of Canadian pride and identity. This small coin may look simple at first glance, but every detail was crafted with precision. The obverse shows the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick, capturing the youthful elegance of the Queen during the early years of her reign. For collectors, the 1966 1 cent is more than a piece of copper. It represents the last era before major coinage updates of the late 1960s and 1970s. The weight, metal content, and craftsmanship make it a desirable addition to any serious coin collection. Minting practices in 1966 were careful but not without variation. A few coins were struck with striking errors, creating extremely rare examples that today fetch astonishing prices when they appear in auctions. Such errors include double strikes, die cracks, and off-center strikes, which make these coins stand out from the regular circulation pieces. Each error turns an ordinary coin into a numismatic treasure. The survival rate of high-grade 1966 1 cents is surprisingly low because these coins circulated heavily in daily transactions for decades. Finding one in uncirculated or near-mint condition is already a challenge for collectors. This scarcity drives the demand and keeps the excitement alive among numismatists. Every time a collector discovers a rare variety or high-grade example, it becomes an event worth sharing with the entire coin community. Another element that makes the 1966 1 cent fascinating is its composition. These coins were struck from bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc, giving them a distinctive reddish-brown color that develops a beautiful patina over time. Collectors also appreciate the historical backdrop of 1966. Canada was moving towards a new modern identity, and its currency reflected the transition. The penny was still an essential part of everyday commerce and carried sentimental value. In the coin market, examples with special attributes such as proof-like surfaces or unique toning can command significant premiums. These coins are carefully graded and certified by top grading companies to authenticate their condition and rarity. When it comes to coin shows and auctions, the 1966 Canadian 1 cent always attracts attention. Dealers and collectors look for coins with sharp strikes, clean fields, and minimal marks, which are becoming increasingly harder to locate. For new collectors, starting with a 1966 penny can be an exciting journey into Canadian numismatics. It is a coin that is still accessible in lower grades, yet has the potential to uncover a rare variety that could be worth a fortune. As with all collectibles, patience is key. Searching through coin rolls, visiting estate sales, and checking online markets can sometimes lead to discovering a gem that others have overlooked. The global interest in Canadian coins has been growing steadily, and this has also contributed to the rise in prices for key dates and rare examples from the 1960s. One of the most thrilling moments for collectors is when a perfectly preserved 1966 penny with an error is found. These discoveries make headlines in the numismatic community and remind everyone that treasures are still out there waiting to be found. Expert numismatists often recommend keeping an eye on varieties such as rotated dies, high-grade proof-like issues, and unique planchet errors, which can dramatically increase the value of the coin. The true market value of the rarest and most desirable 1966 Canadian 1 cent has reached as high as $1.50 million for exceptional specimens with unique errors or flawless conditions, proving that even the smallest coin can carry a monumental worth. Stories of collectors who have sold rare examples for life-changing amounts inspire new enthusiasts to check their own collections and search through old jars and piggy banks. This is what makes the hobby so engaging. The idea that an ordinary coin can turn out to be a rare piece of history worth a fortune if it is in the right condition or bears a special minting error. Over the years, Canadian pennies have been gradually removed from circulation, making the search for older dates even more exciting and challenging for collectors. The 1966 1 cent continues to represent a piece of nostalgia and a valuable link to the past. For anyone passionate about coins, this little bronze treasure from 1966 remains one of the most captivating stories in Canadian numismatics, reminding us that history, beauty, and value can be found in the smallest details. Top 3. The Canadian 1-cent coin of 1981 carries a story that goes beyond its copper surface and tiny size. It represents a moment in the history of Canadian coinage when the penny was still a vital part of everyday commerce and an icon of national identity. This coin was struck during a time when Canada's economy was undergoing important transitions, and every coin leaving the mint reflected the precision and craftsmanship of the country's monetary system. The 1 cent of 1981 kept the classic maple leaf twig design, a symbol instantly recognized and cherished. The obverse of the coin features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, presenting the Queen with a dignified and serene appearance. This portrait remained a favorite for years and is associated with a whole generation of Canadian coins. Collectors appreciate that the 1981 penny is part of an era when the coin was still struck in bronze, a composition of copper, tin, and zinc. This gives the coin a warm reddish glow that collectors love, especially when it develops attractive natural toning over time. The mintage of this coin was large, but survival in pristine condition is far more limited than many people realize. Most pennies of this year circulated heavily for decades, losing their sharp details and developing scratches and discoloration. Finding a flawless or near-flawless example is a real challenge, and that is why collectors hunt for examples with strong strikes, smooth surfaces, and no distracting marks. What makes 1981 particularly fascinating are the special varieties and minting anomalies. Coins with errors such as off-center strikes, die rotations, or double dies are extremely rare and carry significant premiums. Proof-like and specimen strikes of 1981 cents, which were produced with extra care, show mirror-like fields and sharp details that stand out compared to circulation strikes. These are especially prized when they remain in their original packaging or have been graded by top grading services. Collectors who search through old coin rolls often hope to find these varieties by chance, turning an ordinary penny search into an exciting treasure hunt. Another reason the 1981 1 cent attracts attention is its place in Canadian monetary history. It was among the final years before major changes in production that led to a shift toward more cost-effective compositions and eventually the discontinuation of the penny altogether. Because of this, the 1981 cent stands as one of the last of its kind from the classic Bronze era, and that makes it an appealing keepsake for anyone who values Canadian heritage. Auction records show that when a perfectly preserved 1981 penny appears, especially one with a dramatic mint error or in top proof-like condition, it draws strong competition from bidders. This has steadily driven up prices over the years, turning what was once a humble copper coin into a small but powerful investment piece for collectors. The global market for Canadian coins has only increased as more international collectors take interest in the rich history of Canadian numismatics. For those who are new to collecting, the 1981 penny can be a perfect gateway into this world, offering the thrill of searching and the potential for finding an incredibly valuable example. Numismatic experts always encourage checking both sides of every coin carefully, as some of the rarest varieties are identified by small differences in the lettering, portrait details, or strike orientation. Stories of people discovering valuable 1981 pennies in change jars or inherited collections continue to inspire new treasure hunters to look more closely at the coins they already own. The most extraordinary examples of the 1981 Canadian 1 cent, including those with unique minting errors or flawless proof-like qualities, have reached values as high as $2 million, a figure that surprises many and proves the immense worth of these tiny treasures. Such prices are not only a reflection of rarity but also of the passion collectors have for preserving a piece of Canadian history that is no longer minted. These coins remind us that even the smallest item can carry a big story, connecting generations and keeping history alive in the palm of your hand. The more time passes, the scarcer these coins become in high grades, making the search even more exciting and rewarding for those who dedicate themselves to it. The 1981 1 cent remains a symbol of a bygone era, a perfect mix of history, art, and value that continues to captivate collectors and spark curiosity for new generations. Top 2. The Canadian 1 cent from 1988 holds a fascinating place in the history of the country's coinage. This small bronze coin reflects not only Canada's tradition of fine minting but also a time when the penny still played a key role in daily transactions. In 1988, the iconic maple leaf twig design continued to appear on the reverse, reminding Canadians of their natural heritage and national identity. This timeless design, simple yet elegant, has made the penny a favorite collectible for generations. On the obverse, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin gives the coin a refined and distinguished appearance. This portrait was one of the most recognized depictions of the Queen, used on Canadian coinage for many years. collectors often admire the 1988 1 cent because it represents the late era of bronze composition. These coins were made of copper-plated zinc, creating a bright appearance but also leading to unique challenges in preservation. Most pennies from this year entered circulation and were used heavily, which means finding a flawless example today is quite difficult. Many show scratches, discoloration, or spots caused by handling and storage. For collectors, the thrill lies in locating coins that still have their original luster and sharp detail. These are graded carefully by professional services and can command impressive prices depending on condition. Another reason the 1988 1 cent is exciting is the presence of rare minting errors and varieties. Some examples were struck off-center, had die rotations, or displayed doubling in the design, making them stand out as special finds. Proof-like and specimen versions of the coin were produced with extra care and have a mirror-like shine that makes them highly desirable among serious collectors. Each discovery of an error or high-grade example creates excitement in the numismatic community, reminding everyone that treasures still exist in everyday coins. The mintage numbers for 1988 were large. But this has not stopped rare varieties from becoming extremely sought after. Since their population is extremely small compared to regular circulation coins, auction houses and coin shows have seen record interest in these coins, with bidding wars breaking out over unique specimens that combine rarity, condition, and appeal. For new collectors, the 1988 penny can be a perfect way to start a coin collection, offering the possibility of finding a rare gem while exploring Canadian numismatic history. Experts recommend searching through coin rolls, family collections, and old jars since some of the most valuable finds have been discovered in the most unexpected places. This coin also represents a significant stage in Canadian coinage because it comes just a few years before the eventual decline of the penny and its discontinuation in circulation. Collectors know that coins from this period will only become harder to find as time passes, making them excellent long-term collectibles and historical artifacts. The beauty of the 1988 penny is that it still connects people to a time when pennies jingled in pockets, were used in games, and formed a part of everyday life. Its enduring popularity ensures that collectors around the world continue to look for the rarest examples, adding to the growing demand and increasing its market value. The most remarkable specimens of the 1988 Canadian 1 cent, including flawless examples and dramatic minting errors, have been valued at as much as $2.50 million, a testament to how extraordinary this small coin can be. Such high prices inspire collectors to look more closely at their own change in collections, knowing that one coin could turn out to be a life-changing discovery. Every coin tells a story, and the 1988 penny tells one of craftsmanship, history, and the passion of collectors who preserve these small but significant treasures. As time moves on, fewer perfect examples will remain, making every surviving piece more special and desirable for future generations. The 1988 Canadian 1 cent stands as proof that the smallest coins can hold the biggest stories, combining history, rarity, and value in a way that continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. Top 1. The Canadian 1 cent coin of 1982 holds a remarkable place in numismatic history, representing a turning point in the evolution of Canada's currency. This little coin, often overlooked, has become a sought-after piece among collectors who appreciate its design and rarity. In 1982, the Royal Canadian Mint continued to use the beloved maple leaf twig design, a timeless symbol that reflects the natural beauty and strength of the country. This design had already become one of the most iconic images in Canadian coinage. The obverse side of the coin displayed the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin. This elegant portrait was used for many years and remains one of the most admired depictions of the Queen, giving the coin a classic and dignified appearance. This particular year was significant because 1982 marked the transition from the traditional bronze composition to a copper-plated zinc planchet. This change was introduced to reduce production costs but also brought a new look and feel to the penny. As a result of this change, two different compositions of the 1982 penny exist, bronze and copper-plated zinc, making it an especially interesting year for collectors. Finding examples of both types in perfect condition has become a challenge, as most circulated heavily for decades and show signs of wear, corrosion, or discoloration. For collectors, the thrill lies in finding high-grade examples with sharp details, original luster, and no blemishes. These are carefully graded and often sealed in holders to preserve their quality. Another feature that makes the 1982 penny stand out is the existence of rare mint errors and varieties. Some coins display doubling on the date or lettering, while others were struck with slight die rotations, making them unique treasures. Proof-like and specimen versions of the coin, which were struck with extra care and polished dies, have a mirror-like brilliance that makes them especially attractive. Coin shows and auctions often feature these rare pieces, and they consistently generate interest from collectors who are eager to add them to their collections. The historical context of 1982 adds to the appeal of this coin. It was a time of transition not just for coinage but for Canada itself, as the country moved into a new era of modern minting practices. Because of its dual composition, the 1982 penny also serves as a learning tool for collectors who enjoy studying the differences between the two types, weighing them, and comparing their appearance. The mintage numbers were large, but the survival of pristine examples is limited, especially for the bronze version, which was struck in much smaller numbers. Compared to previous years, this makes the 1982 penny one of the most rewarding coins to search for in rolls or inherited collections, as you never know when you might come across a high-value variety. Numismatists always recommend checking the weight of 1982 pennies because the composition change results in a difference. Bronze coins weigh 3.24 grams, while copper-plated zinc coins weigh 2.5 grams. This weight difference can help identify the scarcer bronze version, which generally commands higher premiums when in excellent condition. Collectors who specialize in Canadian small cents often consider 1982 a key year in their collections because of its unique characteristics and the opportunity to own both metal types. The most exceptional examples of the 1982 Canadian 1 cent, including flawless bronze versions and dramatic minting errors, have reached an astounding $1.65 million in value, proving that this small coin can hold enormous worth. Such prices inspire collectors to search more carefully, knowing that a treasure could still be hiding among ordinary-looking pennies in jars, drawers, or old collections. The story of this coin is not just about value but about the connection it creates between the past and the present, linking generations of Canadians through a simple piece of change. As time goes on and fewer high-quality examples remain available, the 1982 penny will only continue to grow in importance for collectors and historians alike. This coin stands as a perfect reminder that even the tiniest piece of copper-plated metal can tell a story of transition, heritage, and enduring value.